Yo, what is going on, car people of this world? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. Interestingly enough, the LS 430 is actually kind of crooked. I don't know if you can see, but it's a lot lower on this side than it is on this side. And speaking of not so low anymore, we got the LS 460 totally jacked up in the air. As you read from the title, we are going to be performing a transmission change on this car today. So that is why it is totally up in the air as even as possible. We could get the back end up a little bit more, but the drain pan is angled down a little bit, so it should work out to be okay. Safety is number one. We got the jack stands on the front. We don't have just one jack, not just two jacks, but we actually have three jacks, one on the diff and then two on the jack points on the side, and then we also have a stack of bricks underneath the car tires as well. Not gonna lie, this is actually my second take filming this video. Yesterday I tried filming it, but then I realized I didn't have the right parts, so I got some new tools, and now we're back for round two today. Before we get into changing this transmission fluid, let's discuss why we're doing it. We're gonna head upstairs to the whiteboard. All right, so let's talk real quick about why we're gonna change the transmission fluid. You can take a look at my beautiful diagram here. You can see I'm quite the natural artist. We have the transmission, we have the transmission lines that lead into the radiator, and then of course the radiator. If you guys have been following my videos, you'll know that my Lexus LS 460 was down for about 2 months. In that time, I did have to change the radiator. Now there's two lines connecting the to the radiator. You have the inline, which brings transmission fluid into the radiator cools it, and then it puts it back into the transmission so that you don't have a rough time shifting. When I detached these lines from the radiator, a lot of transmission fluid spilled out everywhere. I have my new radiator back on. These lines are obviously all connected up, but I haven't filled up the transmission fluid. When you don't lose transmission fluid, you should have about 3.4 liters that drain out of the pan when you break off the drain bolt. As you'll see later in the video, I only had 2.4 liters that left the pan, which means we lost a liter of transmission fluid while performing the radiator change. Since I've been driving my car without having the full transmission fluid, I have been able to tell that certain gears are slipping. Third gear and fifth gear are the absolute worst. It revs up really high before it catches, and it's just not good. So after we drain the fluid, we're gonna fill the transmission back with 3.4 liters, and then everything should be set. Now that we're all on the same page of why we're changing the transmission fluid, let's take a look at the tools that we're going to need to change the fluid. We're going to need a 14mm socket with a wrench or a little breaker bar. We're going to need 4 quarts of ATF WS automatic transmission fluid. We're also going to need one of these. This is the part that I was missing from yesterday's video. This is a 15/16 offset wrench. The actual size of the bolt on there is 24mm, but this should work out to be totally fine as well. Something to put the old transmission fluid in and the catch can. We're also going to need a piece of hose. That is how we are going to refill the transmission after it's drained. So let's hop under there, take a look at what we're working with, and get this transmission drained. All right, so we're jumping onto the phone because it's a little bit easier to film with. This is our trans pan right here. This is the drain plug for the transmission fluid. So we'll pop that out real quick and get this draining. It is all done draining. Let's put the drain plug back in here. Now let's measure how much transmission fluid we got out of the transmission. I have this empty container of Mobil 1 oil. We're gonna fill this up and see how much we got out of it. I think it's gonna be about 3.4 quarts. That, my friends, is about 2.5 quarts of transmission fluid that we just got out of the transmission. So there's supposed to be 3.5 that comes out, so that means I lost right about a quart of transmission fluid during the change. I'm gonna do my best to film where this is at, but now that we've got the pan drained, we need to get that bolt right there off. I'll circle it with our wrench here. Let's give it a little rip. There we go. It's now loose. I apologize for this filming. I'm just gonna take this off. You guys get the point on how to take it off, I hope. Just got it off. We just got our 3/8 line into the transmission fill hole. right there. Coming up to the top, you can see there's the 3/8 line right there. We're just gonna stick a funnel on it and pour it in. Make sure that your funnel is all clean. You don't want any debris going into your transmission. Now we're only gonna put in half of this one, and we should be full. And that's it. Switching back over to the phone. Just gotta hop back under the car, take the tubing out, and put in the fill plug once more. All right, I believe we're finished. I just got the bricks out from underneath the car. So let's get everything lowered. And then should be good to take her for a drive. I'm in communication with a Lexus technician, and I was asking about checking the proper level of the transmission fluid. He was telling me how 3.4 quarts need to go into the transmission. So I only got about 2.5 quarts out when I drained the pan. Filled it up with 3.4, so we should be okay. Alright, so we're just taking it for a quick little drive here. I'm actually not taking it for a quick drive. I'm actually going to go to the mall and do some shopping. But regardless, we're taking it for a drive to see how the transmission feels. In the neighborhood, got it up to 3rd gear. It feels totally fine. It's picking up just like it should. Not really going to be pushing it hard, but we'll see how it feels. So just some first impressions. I know that it picks up on certain gears a lot faster now, which is good. It's like a lot more grippy, which I honestly expected the opposite, but I'm super thankful for that. And honestly, that's like the only difference I could tell. It's shifting perfectly, and yeah, it's super fun. It's such a beautiful day out. I'm so thankful that we got it fixed today. We're gonna keep going a little tame, but you know, if we happen to go under an underpass, it's a little bit of an obligation. Oh, she's back. Feels so good, dude. Very happy with how that turned out. Been driving around for about an hour. I just picked up a new sport coat and some loafers. Your boy is, he's upgrading his style a little bit. Hopefully, at least. I guess we'll have to see. You'll have to let me know if my style increases in the videos. Well, it's actually probably not gonna happen because if we're working on cars, not really gonna dress up. Headed back to the house now. I'll catch you guys there. Well, it's time to drop the windows again. Unfortunately, it's a little cold out, but you know, can't miss a tunnel. Well, here she is, all safe and sound with the transmission fluid changed. So very thankful that it went according to plan. I hope that you guys learned something. Tell me if there was anything I could have done better. I know I didn't check it the proper way it's supposed to be done, or I actually didn't check it at all, so I don't even know what the level is in there. But speaking with the Lexus technicians, they were saying put 3.4 quarts in after you drain whatever out. And that's the way that it should be. So hopefully she'll be good from here on out. Pete, my grandmother's new car, she actually just downgraded from the RC350 to the RC300, so not too sure what she was thinking. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And well, with that, it's quite the view. Got the 4 Lexuses in the frame. That's awesome. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.